see how we're doing. Yeah, good? Good. Okay, so we got 5 people in the house. Jed, sit tight. I'm going to bring you on. No, Judith is on tonight. We had another guest that was coming on now. Judith comes on in, let me make sure, is it still on? Yeah. Judith is on at 8 o'clock Hawaii time, so it's like 2 a.m. New York City time. Wait a minute. Let's see here. Who's this? I don't think Megan's here. Megan's not here. So we're going to do something different. Jed's going to come on in a second. Let me just get it started. Hang on. We got 20 people in the house. Okay. So let me just share this around. I'm going to roll the show out in a minute. We're improvising, a little change of plans. So let me just share this into the network. 27 people in the house. If these shows resonate with you, please share. Thank you very much for all the love and support contributions that allow us to keep doing what we're doing every single day by the seat of our pants. But it's working. Let's see. See it. Twin flame. And conscious humanity. Okay, so we got 37 people in the house. Hello, Melba Wolf, honeymooner that you are. Yvonne from Tasmania is in the house. Kelly Bird, Dave Yellen, Desley Lineker. It was a great show with Linda. David Gagnon, Kim Longo, Connie Ma, Susan Aaron, Nana Lee's in the house. Nana Lee's, you'll be seeing her, I hope, quite often. She's incredible. Dee Collier, Richard Franklin Simonite, Edith Ann, Anna Thomas, my beautiful friend. Hugs and kisses to you and your puppies. Charlotte Tremine, Sonia Sandoval. Saludos from Mexico. Hola, hermana. Hermosita. Diane Renteria, new friend of mine. Diana Renteria, very interesting energy. I like her energy. Gayatri Singh is here, our dear friend. Cindy Fink, Terry Willette, and of course Melba Wolf, dear to my heart, as everyone is, but Melba played a special part in my rehabilitation, and it had nothing to do with the way it looked. Linda Scott, great show today. Raquel Toons, my dear friend from Canada. Neil Devaney, very, very powerful brother. Ann McKean, Debbie Mahoney, hello Debbie. Maria Iverson's here, she came in from the Zoom room. Monique Hendry, dear sister Denise Elsner, Morgan Lee, Joan Kirkendall, Janine Pope Hutt, and Lanier Holbech. So what we're going to do, we got 44 people in the house, 47. We are going to just ask anyone from the audience that would like to come in. We'll just sit down and start talking. And if you want to come into the Zoom room. The link is on the post. And I think you can wave your hand up. I'll try to get everybody in and work them in as best as I can. Hello, Maryanne Savino. So anyone that wants to come in, I'll repeat it during the show, that wants to come in and sit down and have a round. Maybe we'll go for an hour or an hour and a half and just see what kind of conversations we can have. Hello, Kenton Turner and Lisa Baggio Menine. So the first person I'm bringing on, he was in the Zoom room when we started, waiting for the guest. Hello, Lee Stromitz is Ged Riverstone. He writes some really good comments, some really good posts. Hello, Linda Shoup, Marilyn Coons, Laurel Gale, Colette Ferragino. So I'm going to bring up Ged Riverstone now. And yeah, here we go. All right, hang on, let me unmute it. Oh, it's not unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you okay.
Yeah, I just got a new camera and just using the camera mic, but if it's not good, I can stick some headphone mic in. But yeah, how are you, brother?
I'm very good.
Is my video showing or?
No. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out why isn't it showing?
Could just be maybe, hang on, let me.
No, it might be in the, hang on. I don't know what it is, but that's okay. That's all right. We got a picture of you, and it says this. Oh wait, remove. No, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I don't know. Let me try this. What does this say? Oh, that looks okay. That's all right. We can. Wait a minute. Video settings. Let me just check and see what that says. Let's see. We can actually have quite a few people in here. All right, well, we're just going to go with it like that. I think it's probably on your end. If it's new, maybe it just wasn't set.
Well, it's funny because the mic's working and the camera light's on, but I don't have a video button like I normally do on the bottom to turn off or on. So
that's okay. We're good.
That's all good. Technical difficulties. They don't necessarily need to see my ugly mug anyway. So.
Okay, hang on. I don't think it. Wait. How's the sound? Okay. Okay, so what's happening is it's not allowing, it's not showing your picture. Are you still there?
Yeah, can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We're just seeing my face on the screen, but that's okay. So I wish there was something I could put up like a sign or something. I haven't used this too much. Okay, hey, that's the way it goes. Hey, let's see. Yeah, all right. Okay, so yeah, we're just gonna have a free for all. Thank you, Sasha Grace. I still haven't even opened your message yet. I've got so many of them, but I'm gonna get to it. I saw some comments that you made, Sasha, on the show with Victoria. Were really interesting. Hello, Jody Lee, and everybody else. Okay, so there's no picture for the guest, but we can hear him. Ged Riverstone. Where are you from, by the way?
Originally Melbourne, Australia, but I live in far south coast, New South Wales at the moment.
New South Wales, yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
In
so,
Paradise.
And what's going on with you? You wrote me a message in the chat room. There's been quite a bit of energy. What's it been for you? The last day or two been a standout?
Yeah. And it's funny because I've got this flu-y thing which keeps coming back a little bit, but I was getting galactivated and prompted, and it's funny watching my own ego shadow going, I don't really want to come on, and I'm getting prompted. So what I'm just tuning in. There's a lot coming through, so I'm just tuning into what's, what I'm getting prompted to focus on in the here and now. So what I could say is, I mean, every day, even multiple times a day now, there's new codes coming in. There's new energy. It's stepping up every day.
Yeah.
And I think for me, this whole year, strange as it's been, for me, it's very much about the year of embodiment. Yeah. Of expansion, of exploration, and of actually really dancing awake this dream, really bringing for want of words, I mean, the new earth, the organic matrix grid, dissolving and merging the old one into the new, and really dancing awake that new, which I think is why so many are prompted. I think a lot of the beloveds are becoming together, soul group, soul tribe, soul family, more and more connecting or reconnecting in this life. Yeah. And many actually coming together even in the physical. Like Om is probably going to come out to Australia. You know, Om McManus. Oh, he's going to go visit you? Yeah, he's like absolutely my soul brother. We're like the terrible twins. Oh my God! Hide the women and children. we've got ourselves in and out of more trouble than you can count. Yeah, so, but I feel like, and I knew early in the year, I had the sense that the first 3 months was still a lot of like clearing, like last year. Yeah. And almost from the first day of April, which is what I'd sensed at the beginning of the year, that some major parts of the new would really begin to land. And which for me did, like after being gypsy for 7 months, I actually got a house again and a place. And that's been coming in more and more. And what I could say is I feel like time, my sense of time, probably somewhere around last weekend, I felt like there was another huge step up in stage of the new really landing, the magic really coming back into the realm. All of the other kingdoms, the so-called mythical, you know, the dragons, the fairy kingdoms, Neptune's kingdom, a lot of that which had already been in and coming in, and a lot of us are them and connected, but it's like the veil dropped a whole other level and we merged much more with that. So, you know, you could say they're coming more back into this reality, or we're opening up our multidimensionality and connecting more to that. I mean, it's kind of like they didn't really ever go anywhere, kind of we did.
Yeah, it's like their presence is sticking now. Like sticking. It's like, oh, of course, all this has been like a inhale, exhale, pulsation, you know, ebb and flow. And it's like now this energy is sticking and staying longer and longer and longer, to where I have a feeling it's just going to flip on and remain.
Yeah, totally agree. It's a good way to put it. Sticking. It's like it's much more tangible and presence in the fields, in this reality, in the grids. And it's like all of the energetic work was sort of already there in place at every level. And right around probably, well, winter solstice for you, summer solstice here, I felt like it really landed, and we've been embodying and bringing it in since then. But then what I want to say is, so that's been the essence of a lot of what's been happening since last weekend. And then I felt, well, Aussie time, not last night, the night before, I was sitting here with a dear old soul sister of mine, and all of a sudden, there's like a room full of Christed beings.
Yeah.
And then there's the dolphins, there's the whales, and then of course, and it's, you know, Leah and the lion beings, my beloved and the lion beings, the galactics, all of it. And I'm like, wow, what's going on? And there was just like streams of light codes pouring through into me.
Yeah.
And I didn't know I didn't have none of it was filtering up into my conceptual mind as words and concepts yet, but that often happens. You know how you like have to unpack it later, kind of.
Yeah.
But what I did get in essence was that there was another expansion of, you know, the human collective grid, the other kingdom grids we're connected to, and the galactic grids connecting even further. And the next day I was experiencing new races and beings that I hadn't even previously aware of before.
That resonates. That resonates. I saw Pamela Johnson's here. Hello, Pamela. She put up a post I was telling you in the chat room. And the 15th, the CMEs, or the whatever that energy is, coming in plasma, it's coming in the 15th. It feels like to me something's building up and building up. Morgan and I both, the last couple of days, kind of had this restless feeling.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's something, you feel like you got to do something, or if something's going to happen, or it's going to be done to you. I don't know. But yeah, and then, like I said, Jason Estes talks about the end of the purging on the 18th. Maryanne, I'll get you in here in just a second. Thank you for coming in, Maryanne. Yeah, and but the thing you said about the other beings, last night we both had, as normal, you know, very energetically, dimensionally active night. And on my end of it, I saw a lot of faces with bodies in the room as I was laying in bed with my eyes open, and they were not very familiar. You know, it wasn't scary. It was just interesting that I was seeing all these. They weren't like familiar galactics, or divine essences. They weren't really like fourth dimensional, scary looking things. They were just very, very different. And then at one point I got shot out like through a wormhole, and I was in the middle of, I like broke through, and then there was all these energies flowing around me. And I was just watching like different timelines, different settings, different planets, different universes. It was just a ride, But I can kind of relate to what you're saying. Maybe I think every one of us is kind of seeing it through our own eyes, I guess.
Oh yeah, totally. And a lot of it, like, how can I put it? I was aware of a whole new multitude. And I think it's not so much that they've suddenly come in. I feel like they've been there. I think it's more like our own awareness and consciousness raises and expands. Our multidimensional awareness expands to where we now begin to perceive those ones. And there was a big expansion on that. And I was aware of many, but it was interesting. I was very aware that night it was coming in, and I have been this last week. There's a lot of the, I have very strong connection to the cetaceans, old Syrian energy, the dolphins, the whales. But there was a lot more beings of ocean energy, here, as well as kind of galactic Neptunians or ocean energy. And yesterday when I was walking on the beach with my soul sister, and then lo and behold, of course, a whale had come into the bay to Lotus, was only about 100 meters out, and she was singing me codes. But then I was suddenly aware, it was very much like a kind of an octopus being, but almost like a humanoid octopus being. That was, the way I was seeing it anyway, in my mind's eye, was very much pink and purple mottled, mixing of pink and purple. And it was a very cool being, very, very high vibe, very beautiful energy, very kind of joyful. But I was seeing like a crown as well. And what I kind of got, and it was interesting because the energy language, the language, this is a really lame way of putting it, but for want of trying to express it, it very much sounded like ocean type sounds. It was very much like bloop, 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 bloop. But what I got was like, this is kind of like King Neptune, or a part of that sovereign archetype of the sovereign kingdom energy of the Neptunian collective. So that was the one that really stepped forward clearly to me, to commune with me, but I was aware of many others. But that was really kind of new and fun.
Well, Pamela Johnson just wrote just a couple of minutes ago on the comments on Facebook. He said, Poseidon gifted me a trident at the altar in Halakala. Third time, love the magic. So that, if I'm not mistaken, that Poseidon is the same energy as Neptune, or the same person with a different name or something like that?
Yeah, I totally think it is. And it's really interesting you mentioned the trident, because that came a minute ago. I've been getting that really strong for weeks too. And I realized how Neptune's trident it's the energy and symbol for the Holy Trinity of divine feminine, masculine, and divine child. And to me, to my knowing, you can't have the Christ consciousness without that Trinity.
Right on.
They have to be merged and integrated, and you can't really find the divine child, bring it back into wholeness, fully activate, until you clear and balance both the masculine and feminine within yourself, and then they merge and go back to what they come from, which is the Christ unity consciousness. But they give birth to the divine child. And it's through the divine child that we fully connect to and can embody and express our own sovereign, human, divine Christ consciousness. And I'm getting prompted to emphasize that point. One of my favorite, my saying is, and I love this about you, this is one of the things from the moment I saw you from Unity Grace, because I'm very strongly connected with her, immediately I was like, oh my God, he's a soul brother. And one of the things I so love is, like you're saying, human is the hero. To me, it is within our humanity that lay our divinity. And it's in our divinity that lay our humanity. they're two aspects of the one. And if we deny our own ego, personality, our body, our human selves, this is something that can happen with many, and it's okay, it's part of the process. But after you pop, which is my word for enlightenment, one can get what the Zen masters call drunk on emptiness, and it's fine. It's hard not to for a time, but sooner or later you have to come back to that you still have an ego, you still have a personality, you still have lots of stuff to clear. In fact, in many ways, it's almost like now we've ripped the lid off Pandora's box. Now so much more of your unconscious is coming into your conscious mind. Now you can really keep going, clear the rest. But it's about coming back down into and acknowledging that I am divine mind. But I am a human being.
Yeah, the human being is the key to open the lock, isn't it? You can't get away from that part of it. And then you just said, what you were just talking about. God, I had something I was going to add to that. Let me just say this to everybody that's in the Facebook audience. There's a few people in the Zoom room. We're just going to have a freestyle. We might bring as many as 3 others on the screen at the same time and try to work everybody in. Anybody that wants to come on the screen with Ged and I, come into the Zoom room and send a note in the chat, and that includes anyone in the Zoom room now, including you, Maryanne. I'm not sure if you raised your hand because you want to come on, or you were coming into the Zoom room just to come in the Zoom room. But anyone that wants to come on the screen with us, come into the Zoom room, put a note in the chat, and I'll pull you up. Now, what were you just talking about? Unity, grace, and you were talking about the, one of the things that popped in my head was last night when I was seeing these faces, Morgan had her eyes closed, mine were open most of the time. We were holding hands as we always do. And there was definitely some type of incredible physical, non-physical merging. Okay, Maryanne, I'll get you just 1 second. From the forearms to the tips of the fingers, there was no physical difference. I mean, I didn't look at it with my own eyes. She felt the same thing, but there was something happening. Anyway, I was viewing everything with my 2 physical eyes, with my eyes open, and these faces and figures and energies, entities, whatever you want to call it, that I was seeing with my physical eyes had weird, what I would say, weird bodies, weird for the human they were just different. They were very different. They had really weird shapes, some 4-leg, some 2-leg, some very large, some very small. I'm not even sure why I'm bringing that up, but in relation to what you said earlier about some of these things that have popped into your field that have been unfamiliar to you as well.
Well, what I just got with what you said, was, I mean, there's multiple reasons, as there so often is. You know, one of them was us accessing that level of dimensionality. But what I just clearly got was also, they're kind of smiling and laughing about it, is not laughing at us, laughing with us, was that we had to clear enough of the old matrix fear-based, xenophobic, fear of other division programs in order for enough of us to hold enough individually, to hold enough of the collective energy that we could connect to them without being in fear or freaked out.
Can you repeat that? I was worried with it, but can you say that again? Hey, Maryanne.
Yeah, and I'm trying to distill it and simplify it.
I got it. I got it. They weren't laughing at us. They were laughing with us. And it was something about trying to get used to.
Yeah, we had to clear enough within ourselves individually and their collective of the fear-based, xenophobic, fear of other division programs.
Okay, I got you.
We had to embody enough of the Christ unity consciousness, which is the honoring and recognition of all of the individuality, individual forms in the unity. So basically, we had to reach the point where we could connect to beings that were very unlike human without triggering fear and division.
Yeah. And that's what I got last night. Let me welcome in Maryanne Savino. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Hey Maryanne, and hey everyone else.
Hi.
And please, yeah, I'm ready to backseat and let anybody else speak or come through if Maryanne wants. I mean, there's so much, but I feel like, you know,
let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. But let me. They're all asking. Let me just. The Zoom link is just pull out of the live, go to the post where it says "See More," where the announcement is, and the Zoom link is at the bottom of that. Okay, so the Zoom link is at the bottom of the original post, but you got to get out of the live in order to go find it and then click it, come into the Zoom room. When you come into the Zoom room, let me know you want to be on. I'll get you worked in. Let's just keep this thing going. I was going to tell you that, so last night before we went to bed, and this goes right to what you were saying, we were sitting outside on this lot next door. We sit out there at night under the stars. and Morgan, we could feel something coming. And Morgan said, I'm going to go upstairs. And I said, I'll be up there in a minute. So it's a lot, like a residential lot that's empty. And so I was sitting on one edge of it, but there's brush behind me. And I could all of a sudden start hearing this like electronic sound, like, and then what happened was I heard like somebody walking, like, and then it stopped, and then it would do it again, and then it would do it again. And I was like, okay, I feel you. I know you're here. There's a lot of you. And thank God Morgan went upstairs because she doesn't like those type of things. So then I looked to my right, and there was one star that was like in my face. And I said, okay, what's that? So I pulled out my sky map and I aimed it, and it was Lyra. And I thought, oh, it's the Lyrians. And then your monkey mind comes in and says, oh man, you're just like, you're tired, you need to go to bed. But right when I said that, this cat, which I rarely see him out here where we're at, I see this cat cross my path right on the meridian, like, if there was a meridian or a line for me to Lyra, crossed right at that moment. I thought, okay, this is getting real. Yeah. So what's been going on with you, Maryanne?
Oh, wow. It's been very intense, very powerful. Lots of interesting dreams and lots of clearing of old frequencies as the newer frequencies are coming in. It was really powerful Mother's Day yesterday. Very deep and a lot of the divine feminine, but I'm also noticing the beautiful energy of the awakened masculine that's been coming in, into my own personal life. But I see it, and I'm talking to other women about it as well, how the gentleness and loving nature of that feminine aspect coming through the masculine has been showing up for me. And that's so important because we have to be balanced. We live from that patriarchal energy for so long, and that's not just men, it's just, the energy of the masculine, the old 3D masculine. But I have been exploring these energies lately and just noticing there's a major shift. You said something earlier about this feeling of restlessness, and I have been feeling that the past 2 days like you can't imagine. It's been so powerful. Lots of emotional energy coming up, very deep. And I've been making a lot of connection. You talked about Lyra. I've been connecting to Regulus, which is part of the binary system of in Leo, and it's very close. Last night, it was the closest to the moon it's been in a long time. That energy of the lion coming in as we start to head, we came out of the 5-5 Stargate, which is the Taurus Pleiadian Stargate.
Yeah.
And now we're heading toward the 8-8 Stargate of, the frequency of the lion, of the Sekhmet energy, of stepping into our power and our courage and our strength and, really going for what it is that we really deeply desire. Yeah. So that's been coming up very strongly.
Yeah, I love what you said too about because we talked about it a little bit on the shows over the last few days. and I don't remember, I can never remember who it was or what it was, but obviously in April, there was a huge triggerish month. And
Oh yeah, yeah.
it was interesting watching it because you could see it was a masculine wound, but it was a little bit strange because you were seeing it in women. I'm not saying everybody, but you were seeing it in
Right.
women and you were seeing it in men. But because there's more women in these circles, they were standing
Yes.
out. And so then somebody was talking over the last 3 or 4 days, and I think it was Nikki Hammond. And he said, it's about the feminine rising. And I said, I think she's already risen.
Yeah.
I think it's already happened. And I don't think it's a matter of the masculine allowing her, like taking a step back. To me, it's more like the masculine totally being the false masculine or the old masculine being expunged, erased.
Yeah.
Like you embrace it, say thank you for the trip, thank you for the lessons, and don't let the ass hit, don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out, kind of thing. To
Yes.
me, that it was like giving that up totally once and for all, and now seeing what you're talking about, the divine feminine coming through the male incarnations as well, of course, as the female incarnations who've already been ahead of us for the most part.
Yeah, well, what's been interesting, we just had something with Pluto where a lot of people are revisiting old karmic energies of their past relationships that maybe did not clear. Like you may have ended the relationship with your partner, let's say, could have been from 10 years ago. I had this happen to me over the weekend out of nowhere. I revisited an old relationship. It just came out from listening to music. And I thought, oh my God, what the heck is going on here? So sure enough, when I went to look at some of the astrological stuff that's been going on, there it was. I said, oh my gosh, what is this about? And I just got that intuitively that this was, and it wasn't just me. I've talked to a few people about this, that we are revisiting the past of our old relationships, karmic imprints that did not get cleared, that are now ready to come up and move on as long as we don't resist it.
Yeah.
And it was so strong, and I got so triggered by music. And I thought, okay, I'm just going to let this do what it needs to do. And instead of my fiery Leo nature started to really come out, the anger was like off the chart. And I said, wait a second. It's okay to feel this anger because this was painful. It was painful to have to revisit this.
Yeah.
But what I got was, how about sit with that and try to embrace it the best way that you can. And if you can't, it's like accepting that you can't accept it at the moment because it's already accepted anyway. But the mind goes into the story, the ego, like, oh God, here we go again. And instead I said, you know what? You have a choice here. Let's just try to sit with this and feel into the pain, even though it's horrible. It's not the most comfortable place to be.
Yeah.
I just took a walk out in the park. It's just gorgeous here in New York City now in the parks because we got so much rain the past 2 days. And I'm watching my friend's dog. And we went for a nice walk in the park and I could feel something else bubbling up. And I said, okay, what do I do now? I allowed it to come up and the rain's coming down and the tears are flowing out of me. And all I kept getting was, you're being cleansed, you're being released, you can let it go now. And I thought, finally. And I really could feel, it was such a deep kinesthetic feeling from my DNA, from the cells, this energy flowing out like a river. And then that beautiful energy of the divine masculine that's being embraced by the mother.
Wow.
Because that's what's happening in the park right now. You see these beautiful trees that look like they're dancing.
Wow.
And you have this beautiful energy of the masculine right there being held in it.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, here we go. And that's the Lion King. Come over here, Moose. Moose, come.
Moose.
Come.
So
Moose
I got a couple of comments here. Then I'm gonna throw it back on Jed. Thank you, Maryanne.
Thank you
around,
so
let's get
much.
started.
It was such a pleasure.
Just stick around, stay with us, unless
Okay.
you gotta go.
No, no, I'm here. Come
Okay,
on.
so again, somebody else is asking for the link. You can get the link, pull out of the live, go back to the announcement, which is at the top of the post where the live is, go to the bottom of that where it says see more, click it. The link's on the bottom. If you want to come on screen, we can try to work you in. Come into the Zoom room and just send a message on the chat. You want to come in. So two comments, one from Lanier, who's in the Zoom room, had a huge download and release last night. Hey, what's up, Moose?
That's Moose Man.
Had a huge download and release last night. Words, geometry came through. Awareness of the self is given upon release of shadow, monastic fractal into light. Halting and ceasing, repetition of bloodline mirroring through suffering, no longer mirroring inorganic linear expressions as experiment is complete. Vast volume of energy is made available immediately, flooding the vessel through open intent and sovereign declaration, recognition of the true monad, 9D. The self can be experienced, 22 aspects within each self are now coming online, realizing multidimensionality, including sensory and data exchange, unified and moving as one beyond space-time. He also says, thank you, Maryanne. This is hilarious. You say this as I press send, as it's taking courage for me to share what came through last night. It's a big unveiling for me, this download. Thank you for sharing that. We don't need to be afraid anymore. We don't need to hold back anymore. We don't need to worry about what anybody says or thinks. So you're welcome to come on, Lanier, if you want. And if not, that's okay too. There's another comment here from Morgan Lee, who I know pretty well. She made this comment. She made this comment, similar comment on the previous show with Linda. Now she says the power, and I hadn't heard anything from it. I actually saw this comment on the show. She had mentioned it to me. The power is about to be switched on the new grid we have created. We are the living grid containing, embodying, and anchoring all the new codes. Now, I asked her about it in between the last show and before this one started, and she said it's like an electric, like you have the electric company, the normal electric company running the show, gets unplugged, and the new one comes online, and we are that. So we are the PowerPoints, basically, is what I think I was getting from her. Ged, you want to come back and comment? You still there, Ged?
Yeah, I am. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we got you. We got you.
Hi, Ged.
Hey, Maryanne, that was just spot on what you said. I'm just like the energy in this room and all of the comments that I'm reading on the Facebook and I'm trying to keep up is like everybody's getting it. And I just want to say you can feel, to me, I can feel the connectedness and the expansion and how many more that have been doing the work in the background are stepping forward to speak their voice and activate their codes. And what's coming to me with that to say to me is it's all, and for those that run the anti-new age program of, oh, they're just light and lovers, well, I'm sorry, but in my ultimate reality, it is all light and love, which are just two aspects of one thing, of divine source energy. But light is information and love is connection. And it's through information that we help make connection. And then it's through making true heart connection that we activate one another and have access to greater, more expanded information. And that to me is one of the key things that's coming through to me at the moment is those two aspects, that how much, that's why we're accelerating quantum leaps and bounds, is because a while ago we did, how to put it, we did actually essentially reactivate and embody enough of the Christ unity consciousness that is not in the suppression of individuality, but actually in the honoring of individuality, that we made quantum leaps of that our true collective, that as human beings, it is our true nature, underlying the overlaid distorted reality of unity, of connectedness, of oneness. And that's why so many, we're activating so much faster, because we're all connecting. We're all much more connected energetically. Anyway, that's too many words, but I'm sure you all already know what I'm talking about. But that's what came through. And can I, I know I'll let you speak, but then I want to say I'm getting to come through to actually speak some soul speak in a minute.
Do it now. Are you ready?
Okay. It's just because they're saying, yeah, they wanted to bring it through this way because there's a lot of new codes coming through with what we talked about earlier. So I'm just getting a cinto musontan chinina meta conta centane mono pasin chantina mikanta centina mo. Ah, ne santo chon tanina manane esseto centinto marcantani nina sanchetatinana matataname nataname. And part of the essence of that they're expressing is their gratitude and their celebration. We are entering into the celebration. It is the time of the gathering, and the gathering is happening, and the time of the celebration. And they've been saying for quite a while that we have exceeded expectations.
Yeah.
And it's when they say that, it's like it's co-creation. They were waiting. This is one of the big things that happened late last year. They were waiting for us to reawaken enough to our own true nature for us to step into the roles of authority and co-planning. They needed us. We were the ones they were waiting for.
Exactly.
Mm.
We were waiting on
Beautiful.
them, and they're waiting on us all along. I don't want to miss this comment. Lanier stepped out of the room and went to take a real estate call and said, I heard you saying my name and didn't know why. Lanier, we were reading your comments, your excellent comments. And then I believe we've got a couple more comments here. I think we're all one, so it doesn't really matter. I just want to give everybody the respect. Pamela Johnson says, yes, who is saying this? Perfect. It is complete. The merger of all past, present, future parallel aspects into one. Old matrix within is dissolved as we go through the Stargate as particle, not as wave. Quantum physics changes everything. I think I got all of them. There's too many. Oh, Denise Elsner picked up on a couple of nice posts she did recently. She says, yes, no time. We were timeless, immortal, pure love on earth and in the universe, grounding above, below, blessings and praise. Yeah. What do you think? What do you got, Maryanne?
Wow, yeah. You know, what I'm noticing, because we're getting infused with so many different energies right now, it's really important to take time out and rest so you can integrate everything, because I think what happens is, as we're getting infused so quickly, it's coming at the speed of light, that I find myself getting exhausted. I had several clients call me in the past, couple of days saying, what's going on? I've had to give sessions to a number of people, because a lot of people still don't know how to, balance these energies. And I'm telling everybody, make sure you stay hydrated, make sure that you're involved in something creative, that is the creative expression of your soul, because it needs to have an outlet through your humanness. Don't forget about your humanness.
Yeah.
We are definitely being, downloaded with codes, and even my codes have been sounding and feeling very different lately. I'm feeling like, I'd like to offer a transmission for these beautiful energies of not only the Divine Mother, but the beautiful awakened masculine energy that's now coming in. Taking that beautiful energy of the Mother, Father, and embracing the child, so that, as Ged said earlier about the balancing and the integrating of all of that, it's really, really important, because our inner child is feeling a lot of this fear. When I tuned in about when I was revisiting that old, trauma of the relationship, of the breaking up, the ending, it was the little Maryanne who felt lost and alone and abandoned, which goes deeper back to the child, going back to the childhood trauma. And so these codes, I feel, that are coming in are helping us to let go, to step into our power, to embrace all of us, our shadow, our light, everything in between that, because a lot is going on. It's like, to even try to put it into words, I don't think cuts it. I think it's just a feeling, an experience that we're so lucky and fortunate to be on the planet at this time, even though there's struggles going on, there's major shit going on here with trouble, you know, people really struggling. But at the same time, underneath it, boy, what an incredible gift to be able to be here, to have this experience. Our souls were not going to miss this for nothing.
No.
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 So I would like to give some codes.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. You ready?
I'm ready. Koromashente korokataya mokopeatan. Aku samoshonda de ma komai. Al orende arulat endiadand. Kanura arendaru kamu shemata nona. Arakotoru mbe laruka. Ustan shenta kodoi amuba doyara. Lamodogoya nisara mashata kemotiaba. Akuru mbaka mozaza jamone na irita. Ula lila luru kapuru bakuru buru be pasha. Atone, atone, atone. And so it is.
So it is.
You are blessed beyond measure. We are so grateful to you to be the ones to come to this earth plane as we watch you. We connect with you. We honor you. We support you. Thank you for your service and the deepest unconditional love that you are showing through your humanness. We thank you. Whew.
Oh, we back?
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap, man. I think I went into a wormhole or something. Everything stopped. Let's see. Just okay. Nobody wants to come in. Anybody from the Facebook crowd that's on the live right now, if you want to come in to the room, the Zoom link is up on the comments, and it's also in the post announcement. And somebody's put it up a couple of times. You'd have to come into the Zoom room, and then when you come in, just in the chat, just let us know you want to come on, and we'll bring you. I would love to bring some light language through Todd. Okay, Lanier, Holbech. We're going to bring Lanier on. Let me just let me get to it. Okay, Lanier. All right, here we go. Ged, you're welcome to turn on your mic anytime and jump in. Hello, Lanier. Oh, wait. I got to unmute you. Okay. Hello, Lanier. How are you?
Hello, it's Lanier.
Lanier. I'm sorry. I'm from Texas. So, you know, we
No.
Lanier, that was a beautiful comment. And I've seen some comments that you put up over the last week. I used to know all the names. I don't, it takes a while for me to get them now, but thank you so much. We'd love to have some light language. Thank you for honoring us with your presence.
I've got two babies asleep, so I might have to go at any moment. I'm sitting in my closet, like being quiet. So, so funny.
I love it.
Yeah. So you read out that comment that I wrote, and that was really huge last night. Like, actually, one of the most important moments of this incarnation. Like, I can't even explain how big this was for me last night. It was a total falling away. I can't put it into any better words than what came through in that, what you read out, which I wasn't even here. I was on the phone. But yeah, so I thought that that's enough to say about that. But I have got some light language, so yeah. Hioniereata neata Sierra yanierea Tunyerea kianerea na parieterea nate Sunyereata Kunyereata nye Tundiata reatu Sundiata reata Kunyarianya tirayana matariantaria. Ya sania nakyara kara. Humania tianda taria taria. Okotyon tokorian kanyera ya taraya. Hanyatiria. Hanyatirian yera yata. Sunariati ataria kyanyatiara. Sumariatariatire.
Mm,
Oh, so beautiful.
wow, that was
Mm.
amazing. That was amazing. We're glad that you came out to play.
Thank you. Thank you to my babies for sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jed, are you still there? He's muted.
Yeah, I just
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I just said, ooh, I'm melting. I'm like, I'm just melting into light. So beautiful, so beautiful. I feel like we're all, I had a song come through a couple of years ago and it was to do with codes. And I just feel like we're all finding our own voice, our own songs. But collectively, to me, I feel like where we're at is we're singing the song of coming home.
Mm.
And we are coming home. It's landed. It's already here.
This is, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
This
No,
is
that's
exactly,
it.
I
That
mean,
was all I
last
needed.
night it was, whoa, like I literally was just sitting in my garden and all this, like I said, the shadow monad literally was realized and it was gone. And then boom, instantly I had a geometry, but it was a cell. That's why it was the SCELL, but then the F on the end, the self, because when you know how people say my team, and that wasn't quite what it was. It was a cell. We were a cell, but it was ourself, right? But it was like 22 and I was in the center, and that's just, we're all in our own center. But for me, I was in the center, and then we were all just like packed in and we were one. It was just, you can't put it into words because it's just, that's just the most basic little thing of how you can express what happened. But we are all just realizing what we are. And yeah, it all sounds so cliche, but it's just until you have those experiences, you just go, well, the cliche is the only thing that can really put it into words. And that's why light language is so important, because that's what truly conveys, right?
Can't make this shift up. What's exciting? It's exciting to me to be doing this. You know, the guest couldn't make it, and just to try to do something spontaneously. And then we got 3 people on here doing their own unique light language and song from their own lineage and their own path. And that's powerful to me. That's worth having done this, period. You know? And then it's good to see Jed stepping out too. I don't think I've ever seen Jed on, I think musically maybe, but I don't think I've ever seen you on video. And Lanier, we've never seen you. So yeah, thank you both for stepping up.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm getting prompted with one other thing to share that and I kind of brought through the other day, which I'm getting prompted to share is quite a key. And that was, you know, with all this has been going on, and it's no judgment in that. I mean, it's all perfect divine helping play out the shadow. But in the finger pointing, the judgment and all that, what I got the other day was that it's only by fully activating a divine child and opening to that, it's only in our innocence can we have true discernment.
Mm.
And that innocence has been in the matrix too often confused with ignorance. And innocent is not ignorant. It's only where you actually find true discernment. So that's again the heart of the divine child is where we move beyond judgment into
It's
unity.
Moose Man. Say hi to everybody.
Oh, hello. Anyway, that was just a little bit that I was prompted to share.
Jed, it's really interesting because the whole innocence thing, because there's something about my energy that has such an innocence about it, and it's taking me, you know, I still am trying to understand and integrate what that it feels vulnerable because it's very because I feel my power and my ability to express. I mean, my whole thing is expression in so many ways. And when I'm, I talk to my higher self like all day, every day, and have done for years out loud. And it's just like the only way. I'm in a very isolated situation as well. So it's like my dad's here at the moment, and when he arrived, I was talking to myself, and he was like, "Who are you talking to?" I said, "Myself." If I didn't talk to myself, I would never, ever actually talk to anyone, basically, because I'm completely alone physically and with 2 under 3. So where was I going with this? But the innocence. So yeah, but anyway, coming back to that. So I'm all about expression. And when I'm talking like that, I feel that the innocence is so integrated. Yet when I expose myself like this, which I haven't really done before, I sense that innocence and that child. It's just a part of my energy. And I feel like just even doing this and being like, here I am, makes it okay. And it's like, that's a gift that I'm bringing through in a sense. So that not everyone is bringing that particular gift through. So it's just, yeah. And I wrote something once about innocence through transparency. So that came through when you were talking about that, Jen. Yeah. So thanks.
Very good. Thank you for sharing that. Maryanne?
Yeah, innocence. Wow, that's been coming up a lot. That that beautiful, innocent child that lives within us. I think I posted something on Facebook the other day that it's something about it's never too late to have a child, to be in your childlike nature, even if you are an adult now, that you can still have a childhood within your adult, and to try to live more from that spontaneity of the child, of the divine magical child that we sometimes forget exists within us. What better time than now, and with what we're experiencing with this ascension journey, that to let that beautiful innocence come out and be seen and be expressed and be witnessed and held in that beautiful expression of the innocent divine child, and with the energy of Mother's Day, it's a perfect time, let the child come out and play and be seen and be known, and play and be free, be in your sense of liberation, because we've had to hide and shut ourselves down and live small for so long. And now we don't have to do that anymore. We can actually come out and be who we are, in our divine, beautiful essence of that beautiful child.
And there's nothing to fear anymore. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's, we talked about, Todd's talked about this a lot, the past, the number of times we've been, burnt at the stake or whatever way, or shut down for speaking. And there's like a leftover, it's like a holographic residual of the old grid really holding within ourselves. But it's really, this is the importance of finding our voice and connecting with the others and speaking our truth, because in a sense and when I say they, I'm not into victim consciousness, it's all us, but the aspect of us that played that for the experience, played team contrast, they kept shut down by keeping us in fear and divided. But by us connecting and each finding their true voice and speaking, we empower that in ourselves and one another, and just grow in strength. And so it's just to really realize that that energy is no longer, we've played that game, we've had that experience, it's done with, and the new grids are here, and in those, there's no energy. The energy that would attack and suppress and divide and torture, whatever of that, simply doesn't exist within that realm, within those energies, and we are there. It's only the leftovers in our mind, in a sense, that can't necessarily fully allow or embrace or accept or realize that we are there.
Sasha Grace, welcome to the room. Do you have any comments on that? Oh,
Hi.
no.
Hi, Sasha.
Hi, Sasha.
Can't hear you. Can't hear you. No, it's too
It's
far.
all yeah.
Let her work that out. Here's a quick comment from Jenna. Thank you, Lanier. Energy of Innocence has helped me connect with mine right now.
That's lovely.
Yeah. How's that? Sasha? No? Well, you know, there's some crazy things have been happening on these shows with the
Yeah.
electronics and glitches and stuff like that. No? Sasha, your mic's out. All right. We were going to get you to do some light language. Okay.
Yeah, I'll leave and come back in.
Yeah, try to leave and come back. We'll go a few more minutes. This gives me a great idea to have people come in and have like a little I don't know, I wouldn't call it an open mic, maybe a 5D open mic.
A 5G open mic.
Or people come in and share their light language. And like Lanier was saying, that's, you can't really put it into words. It just, when people do that, the message is received. And just as importantly, that expression of universal creativity is emitted too.
Yeah.
How's that, Sasha? No. No.
Oh.
Oh man.
Oh well, it's okay. A for effort. So yeah. For everybody, thank you for coming in. We're gonna have Judith Kuzel from South Africa, who a lot of us.
Oh, I
following
love
through.
Judith.
Yeah, she'll be here it'll be 2 a.m. New York City time though. So it's gonna be 11 p.m. Pacific. It'll be early morning in Europe. She's in South Africa. She's going to be joining us at 8 a.m. South Africa time. So we're going to come back on tonight. Tomorrow's a day off, and then we're going to hit it hard Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So, all right. So thank you all for coming in. It was so nice to meet.
That was so beautiful. Thank you.
It was beautiful. Thank each and every one of you. Mwah.
Yeah.
Y'all take care.
Love you all.
Love you all. Blessings.
Thank you for letting me share. It was beautiful, and everyone here in the room. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thank you for the lovely light. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.